computer. All right, we should be recording now. So, welcome everyone to the movement snack today. There's a lot of people who've helped make this happen. So I hope you enjoy it. So first of all, we're part of the Festival of Social Science. So we got a little bit of funding to actually run this and a series of other movement snacks. We're also part of the Somatic Practice and Chronic Pain Network. So that's a group of people who are interested in this area of moving with chronic pain. And we've also been supported by University College London Hospitals NHS Trust Pain Centre, including Andrea Wright and the physiotherapy team there. So we're really, really happy to have you all here today. We had a lot of people sign up. So we'll try and keep an eye on the chat. Myself and Rosa, who's here, will keep an eye on that. We have Rachel, who's doing the British Sign Language. So if you need that, you can pin her. And we have Roz, who's from the Research Impact team, who helps us think about how research can impact the wider community. And we also have Ian, who is actually going to share the movement practice today. So I'm going to have a quick look at my notes to see if I've forgotten something important. Yeah, so okay. I'm going to have mute someone there. All right. Somatic practices are movement practices that are about body awareness. So you don't have to follow the movement exactly in the right way. It's about feeling your own movement, finding your own movement according to the prompts that we'll give you. So feel free to adapt them how you wish. Like if you need to lie down, sit down, stand up, whatever works for you. If you need to have your camera on or off, that's fine. If you need to go at some point, that's fine. So it's all about trying to accommodate this to your needs. So initially we kind of developed these movement practices for people with chronic pain. So it's going to be tailored to that, but it's open to everyone today for your own well-being, and to have a break in the middle of the day and do a little bit of movement. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's all I'm going to say for now. So I'm going to hand over to Ian. Ian actually prompted us to have this idea of running movement snacks a few years ago. This idea of having kind of bite-sized bits of movement in the day, that's really important. And Ian has a background in biomedical sciences. He's teaching at Angela Ruskin University, but also runs his own private practice to help people to restore balance in their lives and reflect on the wisdom of the body. So we're really happy Ian is going to share his movement snack. So there'll be about 20, 30 minutes of movement, and we'll also have the opportunity to share our responses and experiences at the end as well. And we love to get feedback from you to kind of understand what we're doing, what's working for you, and so on. So I'm going to hand over to Ian, and I'm going to try and pin Ian and Rachel at the same time for the recording. So yeah, thanks, and I'll see you after the session with Ian now.
Thank you, Emma, and thank you everyone for joining. It's a real pleasure to be part of this festival again and to carry on with the work of the SP, Somatic Practice and Chronic Pain Network. So Emma explained that there's no right or wrong for these movement sessions, and I want to emphasize that they are for your benefit, and thank you for taking time out of your day. I'm sure a lot of you have got a busy day today, so setting aside time for some movement takes some effort, takes some commitment. So thank you for joining us. I only have really one intention for today, and that is that you feel better by the end of this. That's my intention. It may not come true for all of you, but that's my wish when creating this movement snack. And as Emma said, there's no right or wrong. The instructions are just a guide. So if I'm saying something like reach and I reach my arm up, you don't have to reach your arm up. You can reach your little finger or little toe, or not reach anything if it doesn't feel right in that moment. So please allow yourself to be creative. And if you prefer the camera off, then that's fine. So I use movement snacks when I'm at work to take a little break, kind of like a mini holiday during the day, when sometimes I feel like mentally I can't think straight or my body feels a bit stagnant. So I deliberately take a little movement snack. And it feels often like life is interrupting me all the time. So how I view movement snacks is like I'm interrupting the sort of the pace of everyday life. I'm deliberately choosing to do something different. And that's what we're going to do now. So please, if we can start with a centering activity, you can be standing, sitting, lying down. And I'm going to do this by gently rocking forward and back, coming to my toes and to my heels. And if you're sitting, you may want to sway side to side, or if you're laying on your back, maybe rocking gently in some way. So swaying and rocking. And then please bring your attention to how you're contacting a surface. So it might be a floor or a chair. And notice the point of contact. And then noticing the end point of the sway or the rock. For me right now, that's left and right. And then quietening the sway or the rock, so coming to a still point. And now we'll do a different type of sway or swing or rock. So I'm going to swing my body to the left and right. You choose the pace, you choose how you do it. Maybe it's just rocking your head. Maybe it's just swinging your arm off the side of a chair. Again, noticing the movement. Noticing the end points. And then noticing the flow between the endpoints. And quietening that motion down until you reach a still point, a comfortable still point. So throughout this session, we'll be using our breath. And now I'd like to invite you to do one of my favorite breath holds, which I call reverse engineered yawn. So if you can take a breath in and reach your arms up above your head, then hold your breath, and then try and breathe in a little bit more, a few more percent of breath. Any more? And then slowly breathe out, letting your arms come back down. We'll do that a couple more times. Breathe in. Hold the breath. Can you get any more breath in? Last little bit, holding, and then breathing out as your arms slowly come down. I like to imagine a hot air balloon drifting down. One more time, breathing in, holding. Can you breathe in a little bit more? And down as you breathe out. And we'll pause. Please now choose a limb or maybe your neck or torso and give it a rub. It can be a vigorous rub or a more gentle caressing rub, something to stimulate your skin. And then maybe a pat. You can cover your whole body or part of your body. And rest. So I mentioned that these sessions for me are like a mini interruption or holiday. I'd like you to think of a time when your body you felt a pleasant sensation in your body, maybe on holiday, maybe in bed. And then as we move through the next block of exercises, have in mind how movement can help us evoke more pleasant feelings in our body. The next exercise, we'll explore edges of movement. So I'm going to make use of these square boxes we're all in at the moment on Zoom, and we'll trace the edge of an imaginary box, or you can use the box on your screen if you want. So please take one hand or one arm and reach to the top. I'm going to the top right corner on my screen and reach as far as is comfortable. But imagine you're trying to reach to the top, maybe dust a cobweb from the top corner, and then trace down the edge. You're reaching down the edge of an imaginary box till you get to the bottom corner. And now with the same arm, tracing along the bottom, along the floor, imaginary bottom line of a cube, until you get to the opposite bottom corner. Now tracing your arm up. For me, this is the top left of my imaginary square. And now back to where you started. And rest. Taking now your other arm, and we'll go in the other direction, but we'll start in the same place. So start, for me, that was top right. Reaching, I'm coming onto my tiptoes. You decide how far you want to reach. And then we trace along the edge of the top of your square to the other corner, reaching into that corner. And then down the side, the left-hand side, bottom left for me. Now along the floor, edge of the floor, to the bottom right. And then up towards where you started. And rest. So we've traced the edges of an imaginary rectangle or square. Now we'll trace an imaginary circle. And this time, please, can you imagine you've got a hula hoop around you? So it might be around your waist or around your shoulders. And take one arm and you decide how big the hula hoop is and trace all the way around. I'm going to bend backwards slightly as I go around the back, all the way to the front. Using the same arm, when you've reached your start point, go in the other direction. And rest. We'll take the other hand and go round the circle again. So I'm going to go round to the left, behind, back to the beginning, and then going round the other way. And rest. We'll use the breath again now for another reaching. So please choose a limb, so it could be your arms, one arm, or one leg. It might be your neck and head. It might be just your chin. And we're going to reach as we breathe. So please breathe in, hold your breath, and then reach somehow. Keep holding the breath. And then breathe out and release. And we'll rest. You choose how you want to rest. I'm going to let my head drop forward. We'll go again with the same limb or the same body part. Breathing in, reaching as you hold the breath, and rest. Choose a different limb or body part. This time I'm going to choose my ear to reach from. Breathing in and reaching. And breathe out and rest. Now please choose a body part which has been quiet recently. So a body part which maybe you've not noticed or paid attention to. I'm going to choose the middle of my back and reach from there as you hold your breath. And breathe out as you let go. Now we'll press as we breathe and hold. So I'm going to press my hands together in a prayer. You may want to press your arms against your chair, your legs. You may want to press a foot against the wall. You choose. Breathing in, hold the breath, press the hands together, and release. Once more, breathe in, hold and press, and release. Option now to either rub yourself again or have a shake. I'm going to shake my shoulders. You choose. And we'll do this for 5 more seconds. And rest. We'll do that again in a moment, but first, please take one arm, reach it up and over to the other side of your body, and then take your opposite arm and reach it underneath the armpit you've just lifted, and look under. A rotation. And rest. We'll go the other way. Take your other arm up, take it over to the side of your body, then reach under the armpit you've just exposed and look towards the hand. And rest. Take a moment to notice the contact of your body with the surface again, maybe the floor or a chair. Then another shake of some sort. This time I'm just going to shake my hands. And rest. We'll do one more round of the rotation. So arm up, one arm up, take it over across the side of your body, and then the other arm comes under your armpit, and you look in the direction of the second arm under your armpit. And rest. Other arm, other way. Reaching up and round. And return. As we finish this segment and move on to the closing segment, I'd like us to focus around the middle of the chest. So often it's very easy for us to initiate movement from our neck and lower back, but the middle of the rib cage, spine in the middle of the back can often become a bit rigid. So the intention now is to bring your attention to the middle of your chest, the spine area there. And if you're sitting or standing, the movement is going to be based around kind of hinging from that area. If you're laying down, it might be easier to move side to side this way. I'll give you another cue first. So the cue is to tilt your pelvis backwards as you do this, and that will limit the movement in your lower back. And the other cue is to put your fingertips and thumb, fingertips under your chin and thumb on your chest to kind of keep the neck a little bit still. So tilting the pelvis back, keeping the neck still. Bring your attention back to the middle of the rib cage, and then trying to create some movement in that area. Forward and back for me. Rather than from the lower back or neck. Five more seconds moving from the middle of the rib cage. And rest. And we'll be coming to the close of this session in the next 5 minutes. I'd like to invite you to find a place to rest, either sitting or laying. You can remain standing, but please just be comfortable. And my intention was for you to somehow feel a change through this session or to feel better. But now I'm going to invite you to think how you would like to feel for the next chunk of your day, whether that's at work, at home, maybe a late lunch. How would you like to feel? And then we'll go on a tour of awareness. So you can close your eyes if you want to, or you may want to leave them open. And first of all, we'll bring our attention again to contact with a surface. Maybe the floor, a chair, a sofa. Noticing your skin. Maybe it's contact through clothing. Noticing now some sound other than my voice. What else can you hear, near or far? What can you sense through your eyes, even if they're closed? Can you see colors or light? What are you aware of inside your body? Might be the movement of stomach rumbling, the pulse of your heart, or the feeling of just being alive on a Thursday afternoon. What can you notice in the mental dimension? So thoughts, images, being aware of thoughts or images coming, letting them run their course. Finally, on this tour of awareness, can you notice the part of you that's been doing all the noticing? Noticing the contact, noticing the sounds, noticing the thoughts. Thanking that part of you for joining this session, the noticing part. And before we rejoin the group for a chat, take a moment, please, to dwell on what pleasant dimension do you want to tune into or evoke for the next part of your day. We'll have a few seconds for you to dwell on that. And as we all come back to the Zoom group now, please give your fingers and toes a wiggle. Maybe take one more breath in and yawn, stretch. And that leaves me again to thank you for your time and attention. And please, we'd love to hear a bit about where you've all come from and your experience before you leave. So you're welcome to unmute and we can have get to know you, or you can put something in the chat. Please do say something before you leave. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ian, for that beautiful session. I'm going to stop the recording now.